Hey guys, Mobile Geezer back again. And I've got an interesting article about Google changing the upgrade rules for Android 15 on Android phones. So let's go take a look at it on Tom's Guide.
Let's do this!
All right, this one just came out yesterday on Tom's Guide. Google just changed the rules about which phones can upgrade to Android 15, written by Tom Pritchard. No more phones with skimpy storage. So this mainly is a storage issue. But I thought everybody would probably want to know about this one in case they hadn't heard about it yet. So let's drop it into review, get rid of the ad. While the best cheap phones offer great bang for your buck, like the new Google Pixel 9a, other cheap phones are cheap for a reason and not worth your money. Fortunately, Google has rolled out a change that should make the cheapest Android phones slightly better via Android Authority. Google has raised the minimum requirements for a phone hoping to run Android 15. Now phones will need to have at least 32 gigabytes of storage to run the software, double the amount needed to run Android 14 and Android 13. This new rule applies to all Android devices regardless of whether they're brand new or upgrading to Android 15. If you don't have at least 32 gigabytes of free storage, 75% of which has to be opened to system files and apps, then you're going to be stuck with Android 14. Android Authority notes that Google can't stop phone makers from selling phones with 16 gigabytes of storage space, but those phones will be restricted to using the open source version of Android AOSP, which doesn't have the same licensing restrictions as Google's Prime version. How much of an impact will this change have? Google could still restrict access to Google mobile services if it wishes. Without GMS, phones won't be able to access Google Play services, the Play Store, or other core Google apps. However, as of the time of writing, those requirements are not actually listed in the GMS licensing rules, so it's in phone makers' best interest to fall in line. In practice, U.S. buyers are going to struggle to find a new Android smartphone that doesn't have at least 32 gigabytes of storage space. Even phones that can be purchased for under $100, like Moto G Play 2024 or Samsung Galaxy A15, come with significantly more than that, 64 gigabytes and 128 gigabytes respectively. So that's good for all of us. That said, Android is popular around the world in part because there are so many cheap devices available. The people using the very cheapest of those devices will likely be the prime market for a 16 gigabyte phone, and this change means they should have a better overall experience. That's not just because of the increased storage space, but also so they can take advantage of the best features and upgrades Android 15 has to offer. If you're in the market for a super cheap smartphone, I'd recommend getting one with at least 128 gigabytes of storage. It's not that hard to find them, and even the best phones under $300 offer that amount of storage, with some even adding micro SD card support for expansion. Those features include the new private space partition for hiding sensitive apps and files, theft detection lock, and more security settings that make it harder for thieves to try and break into your phone, not to mention improvements to low-light photography and enhancements to existing accessibility features. So just thought I should get that one out to you guys just in case you hadn't heard about it as yet. It's the kind of information that might affect any of us. So as always, comments are welcome. Thanks for watching. And remember, if you like my content, please share the videos with friends, family, or whomever you think might be interested. Subscribe if you haven't already done so, and be sure to click the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos that I upload. And please hit the thumbs up, as it does help with the algorithm.
So there's one other thing.
We all do better when we love each other.
started reading.